Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna. Sure, Prabhu. Suman Prabhu. You are on hearing mode. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for joining. Yes. We'll start with Mangalacharna, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukhaṁ karoti vācālaṁ pangullam jayate girim yatripātamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinadarinam Paramanandamamadhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Om Pavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavastannatopi Va Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sarvabhyantaram Suchihi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Just sharing just a bit. Two 416, right? Can anybody check in the group? 2 416. We have done.
Yes, Prabhuji, 2 416 it is written now.
416, 2 417 is done. You can just share. Are you able to see?
Now, Prabhu. Till
Yes,
now
Prabhu.
it is rotating.
It is showing your screen share is loading.
Over, Prabhu. Loaded.
Oh, okay.
Prabhuji, what I was thinking is, like from now, Bhagavatam will be a bit difficult, Prabhu. Means the context where we are in to understand. Okay. So at least 1 or 2 minutes, a couple of minutes, we will read where we are, and then we will read Bhagavatam. Will that be okay? Bhagavatam or CC? Because they being very big topics now. We will lose the flow. Okay. So at least once in a week, we will do that where we are. If not daily. Am I audible to you, Prabhu?
Yeah, audible to.
Yes, Prabhuji.
ఏం చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు ప్రభుజీ? What do you want to do?
Just to recap, Prabhuji, whatever we read, chapter wise, right? We'll read, Prabhuji. Just to recap before
A brief
reading.
summary of 2 or 3 points, Prabhu. That's it. Now the what you say? Sukadeva Goswami is praying. So the whole chapter will go in prayers only. And so 1 or 2 chapters they will go like this only. We will lose the flow, what we are doing, where we are reading and all like that. So weekly ones or in between intermittently or arbitrarily, what we do is we'll just come catch up with the flow where we are. That was I was thinking that. That's what I am thinking, Prabhu. You can give your suggestions or devotees they can give their suggestions how we go ahead. Because from now on, there are many instances where we will lose the flow only. Just study. Okay.
Sure, Prabhuji. That means simultaneously we will refer SB subordinate guides and the translations or whatever we read from last 4 days. Now Friday we can do. So not reading, Friday no reading.
No. Reading is there, Prabhu. This will take 2 or 4 minutes.
Just Prabhuji, ఏదైతే చదివినామో దాన్ని రీకాప్ చేయడం అంటే ఇవాళ నేను చదివినాం కదా ప్రభుజీ, వాట్ ఎవర్ వి రీడ్ ఎస్టర్డే జస్ట్ రీకాప్ 1 or 2 minutes జస్ట్ సమ్మరీ ప్రభుజీ. మనం ఎక్కడ చదివినాం, ఏం చదివినాం, మళ్ళీ ఎక్కడ నుంచి కంటిన్యూ చేస్తున్నాం, జస్ట్ వేర్ వి ఆర్ నౌ. జస్ట్ సమ్మర్ లాగా ప్రభుజీ.
Recap.
Yeah, like today we are reading the prayers. Okay. Now prayers, who is praying this? Sukadeva Goswami. Why he is praying? Parikshit Maharaj asked him some questions regarding what? Regarding bhakti. Okay. To tell him about pure devotional service. So before starting, Sukadeva Goswami is praying. So these are all prayers. And mind you, whenever these prayers come, the purpose will be very big. Because Prabhupada wanted to emphasize something. Whenever any of the devotee he prays, the purpose will go like 2 or 3 pages. Okay. So we might forget what we are reading or what we are where we are. So whenever a very big purport comes, understand that it might be a prayer or it might be a realization of a devotee. Okay.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll go ahead. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you want to check that? You want to say something?
No, Prabhu. No, nothing.
So
he told us no just now where we are, what we are doing. We are doing prayers. Ante ade summary.
Till 16 verses. 2.4.16. You have read last 3-4 days. Actually, internet problem ఏమైందంటే ఒక 30-40 tabs ఓపెన్ అవడం వల్ల స్లో అయిపోయింది. Something browsing. So anyway, slow down laptop. So are you able to see this verse 17?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please read, Mataji.
Translation.
Prabhuji, the 17th and 18th are important verses, huh? Mataji, please do the verse also.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. तपस्विनो दानपरा यशस्विनो मनस्विनो मन्त्रविदः सुमङ्गला क्षेमं न विन्दन्ति विना यदर्पणम् तस्मै सुभद्राश्रवसे नमो नमः. Prabhuji, meter correct na?
Perfect, Mataji. Very good. Jai.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all auspicious Lord Shri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns, and the great followers of Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedication of such great qualities to the service of the Lord. Purport: advancement of learning, a charitable disposition, political, social, or religious leadership of human society, philosophical speculations, the practice of the yoga system, expertise in the Vedic rituals, and all similar high qualities in man serve one in the attainment of perfection only when they are employed in the service of the Lord. Without such dovetailing, all such qualities become sources of trouble for people in general. Everything can be utilized either for one's own sense gratification or in the service of one other than oneself. There are two kinds of self-interest also, namely personal selfishness and extended selfishness. But there is no qualitative difference between personal and extended selfishness. Prabhuji, कुछ కిందకి వెళ్తారా?
ఇది
స్క్రీన్ ఫ్రీజ్ అయినట్టుంది. No problem.
frozen అయింది. అందుకే
Should I read from my screen, Prabhuji?
yes.
Can I share, Prabhuji? Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I'll put you share screen option. You can share your screen. I'm stopping. Okay. Yeah, you can share.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you can read Mataji from.
Yeah,
All
I'm also
participants-
opening, Prabhuji. It's like
Yeah.
not open right now. Yeah. SB2.4. Yeah.
1 minute, man.
Yeah.
Almost done.
I got it. Namely personal selfishness and extended selfishness. But there's no qualitative difference between personal and extended selfishness. Theft for personal interest or for the family interest is of the same quality, namely criminal. A thief pleading not guilty because of committing theft, not for personal interest but for the interest of society or country, has never been excused by the established law of any country. People in general have no knowledge that the self-interest of a living being attains perfection only when such an interest coincides with the interest of the Lord. For example, what is the interest of maintaining body and soul together? One earns money for maintenance of the body, personal or social. But unless there is God consciousness, unless the body is being properly maintained to realize one's relation with God, all good efforts to maintain body and soul together are similar to the attempts of the animals to maintain body and soul together. The purpose of maintaining the human body is different from that of the animals. Similarly, advancement of learning, economic development, philosophical research, study in the Vedic literature, or even the execution of pious activities like charity, opening of hospitals, distribution of food grains, should be done in relation with the Lord. The aim of all such acts and endeavors must be the pleasure of the Lord and not the satisfaction of any other identity, individual or collective. Samsiddhir Paritoshana. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.27, the same principle is confirmed where it is said that whatever we may give in charity and whatever we may observe in austerity must be given over to the Lord or be done on his account only. The expert leaders of a godless human civilization cannot bring about a fruitful result in all their different attempts at educational advancement or economic development unless they are God conscious. And to become God conscious, one has to hear about the all auspicious Lord as he is described in literature like the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, 1 minute. So this 17th verse, this actually will be quoted by many devotees. Actually, whenever no benefit without service to the Lord, the topic will be service to the Lord is the ulterior motive, is the ulterior benefit. during the one seminar happened by some devotee, Grihastha devotee of Chaupati. So this is the main theme of his whole lecture. This verse he made us repeat again and again, again and again. Okay. So once we will read translation again. Okay. Please.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all auspicious Lord Shri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns, and the great followers of Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedication of such great qualities to the service of the Lord.
So how many things are negated here? So the every point, everything. So that is how he described, nothing will help you other than service to the Lord. Okay. What all things cannot help you? The great performance of charity. Okay. So all this Lions Club, this club, that club, everything gone. Great workers of distinction. Distinction means, who is the highest talented person in the world. He is also gone. Great philosophers, Aristotle, Plato, everyone gone. And great mystics, all the Babas gone. Great chanters of Vedic hymns, this impersonalists gone. Great followers of Vedic principles, even Vedic principles who follow perfectly, they are also gone. Means a kind of, Veda Brahmins gone. All those things cannot achieve what? Fruitful results until and unless service to the Lord has not been performed. Okay. So this is very important shloka. So we'll go to the next. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And next one is also very important.
Yeah, Vani Mataji, please can you read this one?
Mataji, if you can recite this, it's okay, Mataji. Or if you, you should recite this shloka 3 times.
Prabhuji, I don't think I'll be able to recite this shloka. So if you can help me, we'll do it.
Yeah. Everyone, let us do this shloka then. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha.
Kirata Hunandra Pulkasha.
Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha.
Kirata Hunandra Pulkasha.
Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha.
Kirata Hunandra
Pulinda Pulkasha.
Abhira Shumbhaya Vanakashadaya.
Abhira Shumbhaya Vanakashadaya.
Abhira Shumbhaya Vanakashadaya.
Abhira Shumbhaya
Vanakashadaya.
Abhira Shumbhaya Vanakashadaya.
Abhira
Shumbhaya
Vanakashadaya.
Yenye cha papa yadapashrayashraya.
Yenye cha papa yadaprashraya.
Yenye cha papa yadapashrayashraya.
Yenye cha papa yadaprashraya.
Yenye cha papa yadapashrayashraya.
Yenye cha papa yadaprashraya.
Shuddhyanti. Sorry, one more time. Yenye cha papa yadapashrayashraya.
Yenye
cha papa yadaprashraya.
Shuddhyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namah.
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 शुद्ध्यन्ति तस्मै प्रभवे विष्णवे नमः
The whole sloka once. Kirata hunandra pulinda putkasha abhira shumbhaya vanakashadaya ye cha papa yadapashraya shreya shuddhyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha.
पुलिंद पुष्कस अभीरशुम्भायवनाकसन्दया इमे च पापाय तपाश्रयाश्रया शुद्ध्यन्ति तस्मै प्रभवे
Vani Mataji, please read translation. See, please pay your attention. Please pay. This is very, very important sloka.
Translation. Krishna Kirtana. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulakasha, Abhira, Shumbha, Yavana, members of the Khasa races and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Shall I continue, Prabhuji? Purport?
Yes, Mataji, please go.
Purport. Kirata, a province of old Bharatavarsha mentioned in the Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata. Generally, the Kiratas are known as the aboriginal tribes of India, and in modern days, the Santal Parganas in Bihar and Chota Nagpur might comprise the old province named Kirata. Huna, the area of East Germany and part of Russia is known as the province of Hunas. Accordingly, sometimes a kind of hill tribe is known as the Hunas. Andhra, a province in southern India mentioned in the Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata. It is still extant under the same name. Pulinda, it is mentioned in the Mahabharata Adi Parva 174.38. with the inhabitants of the province of the name Pulinda. This country was conquered by Bhishma Sena and Sahadeva. The Greeks are known as Pulindas, and it is mentioned in the Vana Parva of Mahabharata that the non-Vedic race of this part of the world would rule over the world. The Pulinda province was also one of the provinces of Bharata, and inhabitants were classified amongst the Kshatriya kings. But later on, due to their giving up the Brahminical culture, they were mentioned as Melachas. Just as those who are not followers of the Islamic culture are called Kafirs, and those who are not followers of the Christian culture are called heathens. Abhira. This name also appears in the Mahabharata, both in the Sabha Parva and Bhishma Parva. It is mentioned that this province was situated on the river Saraswati in Sindh. The modern Sindh province formerly extended on the other side of the Arabian Sea, and all the inhabitants of that province were known as the Abhiras. They were under the domination of Maharaja Yudhishthira, and according to the statements of Markandeya, the militias of this part of the world would also rule over Bharata. Later on, this proved to be true, as in the case of Pulindas. On behalf of the Pulindas, Alexander the Great conquered India, and on behalf of the Abhiras, Muhammad Ghori conquered India. These Abhiras were also formerly Kshatriyas within the Brahminical culture, but they gave up the connection. The Kshatriyas who were afraid of Parashurama and had hidden themselves in the Caucasian hilly regions later on became known as the Abhiras, and the place they inhabited was known as Abhira Desha. Shumbhas are...
Yeah, read Mataji. We'll give it.
Sure.
Shirsha, hello.
Sumbas are Kankas. The inhabitants of the Kanka province of old Bharata mentioned in the Mahabharata. Yavanas. Yavana was the name of one of the son of Maharaja Yayanti, who was given the Yayati, who was given the part of the world known as Turkey to rule. Therefore, the Turks are Yavanas due to being descendants of Maharaja Yavana. The Yavanas were therefore Kshatriyas, and later on, by giving up the Brahmanical culture, they become Mlecha Yavanas. Descriptions of the Yavanas are in the Mahabharata Adiparva 85.34. Another prince called Turvasu was also known as Yavana, and his country was conquered by Sahadeva, one of the Pandavas. The Western Yavana joined with Duryodhana in the battle of Kurukshetra under the pressure of Karna. It was also foretold that these Yavanas also would conquer India, and it proved to be true. Kasha. The inhabitants of the Kasha Desha are mentioned in the Mahabharata Drona Parva. Those who have a stunned growth of hair on the upper lip are generally called Kashas. As such, the Kasha are the Mongolians, the Chinese, and other who are so designated.
Yeah, thank you. I will give to someone. Gaurav Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Please
Krishna,
give.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay.
The above mentioned historical names are different nations of the world. Even those who are constantly engaged in sinful acts are all corrigible to the standard of perfect human beings if they take shelters of the devotees of the Lord. Jesus Christ and Muhammad, two powerful devotees of the Lord, have done tremendous service on behalf of the Lord on the surface of the globe. And from the version of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, it appears that instead of ruling the godless civilization in the present context in the world situation, if the leadership of world affairs is entrusted to the devotees of the Lord, for which a worldwide organization under the name and style of the International Society of ISKCON Consciousness has already been started, when by the grace of the Almighty God, Lord, there can be thorough change of heart in human beings all over the world because the devotees of the Lord are able authorities to effect such a change by purifying the dust-worn minds of the people in general. The politicians of the world may remain in their respective positions because the pure devotees of the Lord are not interested in political leadership or diplomatic implications. The devotees are interested only in seeing that the people in general are not misguided by political propaganda, that our valuable life uh, of a human being is not spoiled in following a type of civilization which is ultimately doomed. If a politician therefore would be guided by the good counsel of the devotees, then certainly there would be a great change in the world situation by the purifying propaganda of the devotees, as shown by Lord Chaitanya. As Sukadeva Goswami began his prayer by discussing the word Yat Kirtanam. Also, Chaitanya recommended that simply by glorifying the Lord's holy name, a tremendous change of heart can take place by which a complete misunderstanding between the human nations created by politicians can be once be extinguished. And after the extinctions of the fire of misunderstanding, other prophets will follow. The destination is to go back home, back to the Godhead, as we have several times discussed in these pages.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Raju
Hare Krishna.
big paragraphs, right? Try to highlight so that easy to follow.
Sure, Prabhu. This is also big paragraph, Prabhuji. Yeah, Lalitman Prabhuji, please can you read this paragraph?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. According to the cult of devotion, generally known as Vaishnava cult, there is no bar against anyone's advancing in the matter of God realization. A Vaishnava is powerful enough A Vaishnava is powerful enough to turn into Vaishnava, even the Kirata, etc. As above mentioned. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.32, it is said by the Lord that there is no bar to becoming a devotee of the Lord, even for those who are low-born or women, Shudras or Vaishyas. And by becoming a devotee, everyone is eligible to return home back to Godhead. The only qualification is that one takes shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord who has thorough knowledge in transcendental science of Krishna, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyone from any part of the world who becomes well conversant in the science of Krishna becomes a pure devotee and a spiritual master for general mass of people and may reclaim them by purification of heart. Though a person be even most sinful man, he can at once be purified by systematic contact with a pure Vaishnava. A Vaishnava, therefore, can accept a bona fide disciple from any part of the world. Okay. Without any consideration of caste and creed, and promote him by regulative principles to the status of a pure Vaishnava, who is transcendental to Brahminical culture. The system of caste or Varnashrama Dharma is no longer regular event amongst the so-called followers of the system, nor is it now possible to re-establish the institutional function in the present context of social, political, and economic revolution. Without any reference to the particular custom of a country, one can be accepted to be a Vaishnava cult spiritually, and there is no transcendental Krishna, and there is no hindrance in the transcendental. Aina Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. And there is no hindrance in the transcendental process. So, by the order of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the cult of Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita can be preached all over the world, reclaiming all persons willing to accept the transcendental cult. Such cultural propaganda by the devotees will certainly be accepted by all persons who are reasonable and inquisitive, without any particular bias for the custom of the country. The Vaishnava never accepts another Vaishnava on the basis of birthright, just as he never thinks of the deity of the Lord in a temple as an idol. And to remove all doubts in this connection, Srila Sukadeva Goswami has invoked the blessings of the Lord, who is all-powerful, Prabhavishnave Namaha. As the all-powerful Lord accepts the humble service of his devotee in devotional activities of the Archana, his form as the worshipable deity in the temple. Similarly, the body of a pure Vaishnava changes transcendentally at once when he gives himself up to the service of the Lord and is trained by a qualified Vaishnava. The injunction of the Vaishnava regulation in this connection runs as follows. Arche Vishnau Shila Dhir Gurushu Naramatir Vaishnava Jati Buddhi Shri Vishnor Namani Shabda Samanye Buddhi, etc. One should not consider the deity of the Lord as worshipped in the temple to be an idol, nor should one consider the authorized spiritual master an ordinary man, nor should one consider a pure Vaishnava to belong to a particular caste, etc. Padma Purana. Prabhu, should I conclude this? Should I?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Do this also? Yeah, the conclusion is that Lord, being all powerful, can, under any and every circumstance, accept anyone from any part of the world, either personally or through his bona fide manifestation as the spiritual master. Lord Chaitanya accepted many devotees from communities other than the Varnashramites, and he himself declared to teach us that he does not belong to any caste or social order of life, but that he is eternal servant of the Lord, who maintains the damsels of Vrindavan, Lord Krishna. That is the way of self-realization.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So, how many of you have any doubts on this? Actually, why Prabhupada has written such a big purport is there was a lot of negation from the Smartha Brahmanas, that how can you cross the river, cross the ocean and preach? Okay. But, this is how the Acharyas actually think. They see through Bhagavatam. Okay. What Bhagavatam says, everyone is eligible. Everyone is eligible. And they say that these people are all belongs to one Vedic community earlier, one Vedic culture earlier. Then they got slowly deviated because of the circumstances. Okay. So that is why, see, is there anyone in the world whom you know that who has been separated from this? Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulka, Shabhira, Shumbha, Yavana, Kashada. The whole world, they have come together.
Sorry,
Even the
Prabhuji, what
South
is the
Americans.
question?
Yeah, the question is, you know, the whole races of this planet Earth, which we are seeing, na, they were not left. All are concluded here in this. Okay. So everyone is eligible for Vaishnava cult. So what is cult? You know the definitions of this religion. See, if you go to some other country and say that we practice Krishna and everyone should practice Krishna, or anyone can practice Krishna, then the answer which they will say, you know, that what is the answer which they say that is your culture, not ours. Okay, this is what they say. Then how can you negate them? How can you say that no, it is a universal culture, it is a culture of the soul, it is not the culture of the body? This is how you will start actually. And how will you prove this? By the thematic, systematic explanation of this history, which is given in this verse. Okay. This is how the, what is say, intellectuals of Srimad Bhagavatam starts their conversation with. Now, for that, you should know a general history of different places. How many countries are covered here? The whole known world. Okay. Except Americas, because America is nothing but a settlement of these Europeans, nothing more than that. Europeans and Africans, and all of these Africans and Europeans are covered in this already. So there is no place which Prabhupada didn't cover, or there is no place which Bhagavatam didn't cover in this world who is eligible to take Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so this is the knowledge of the soul, not the body. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry. So some verses like this, will make me go.
Thank you for sharing the knowledge, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead, Mataji. Please go ahead, Prabhuji.
So this Pulindas, Prabhuji, Pulindas, which part, Prabhuji, there?
Yeah. Greeks, Prabhuji.
Greeks, okay.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, but who will believe this kind of history? Because I know that this history has been written in our spiritual books, but it has not been written in their history. How will they believe in this thing?
See, whatever they believe is, Prabhuji, on the carbon dating. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so the process of carbon dating in itself has some flaws in it. First of all, if you ask any of this what is that? Archaeological people, they themselves agree that yes, we have our own faults, because till now they couldn't say how the culture has come to South America, the Red Indian culture. Okay. They don't have answers for that. So they should accept. If you don't have an answers, then give the answers. No? If you believe the science, then say give us a complete whole. You yourself, your science doesn't have a complete answer, and you want us to believe that. Why should we believe? Okay. Instead, we believe what our culture says, no? Because it has some parampara with it. It has a chain of disciplic succession, but you don't have it. You have your own mind and your own
their own thesis.
No. That we will say that. That impersonalists, they generally do. What is that? Thought process. Their thought process. They think. They think it might be true. It might be true. Okay. It's not perfectly true. And their analogy changes if something, all of a sudden, something comes from somewhere. One deity of Vishnu in Russia, they couldn't answer.
Yes.
And the Ganesha, which has been appeared in South America, they couldn't answer. So there are many things they don't have answers. Yeah, they interpret in that way. Okay, their interpretations are never true. They think in that way. So see, of course, we should accept. If he is a proper person, he will accept it. Yes, We have our own shortcomings. The science have its own shortcomings. But we don't follow science, na? We follow the reciprocal succession, the chain succession. Yes, Prabhuji, you were asking something?
No, Prabhuji, but just I was saying that you're saying that their logic and their interpretation might not be correct, but they can say the same thing, that our interpretation and our philosophy might not be correct. This logic can backfire us also.
No, we say that, the archaeological evidence has shown that there is an Ayodhya and there is an Dwaraka. And we study those books, okay, which is written in Mahabharata. And accordingly, we are presenting it to you. And we accept Homer, we accept Homer's Greek philosophy. And we also accept the Roman history. We accept, Prabhuji. We should accept because that is there. Prabhuji, there is some civilization known as Sumerians and Akkad. That is in Baghdad, present-day Baghdad. So there is one god known as Norau. If you see that god, who is our Garudadev, you just Google it. No? You just Google it. And this is the scripts and texts which has come through the archaeology. Okay, that is their god. So, Prabhuji, if we wanted to just go by the history and all, so we can say that we are going by history, Baba. We are not going just by our interpretations. We are going by what has been written, and it has been coming from Guru to Sishya.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Raju Prabhu, you can please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kitchen Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the information. Kitchen Prabhuji. Giresh Prabhuji, please can you read this one?
Viewers.
Yes, Prabhuji. This 19th. This is also important words, Prabhuji. Lalitman Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji. Again, you will directly get into the. Now we are at fourth chapter. Now, sixth chapter we have Prabhuji again. This fourth and fifth, they are prayers and question answer session. It is Narada Muni to Brahma about the creation, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Giresh Prabhuji, please can you read this?
Translation and purport by Narayana Bhakti Prabhupada. Translation: He is the super soul and the supreme Lord of all self-realized souls. He is the personification of the Vedas, religious scriptures and austerities. He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all those who are transcendental to all pretensions. Being so revered with awe and veneration, may that supreme absolute be pleased with me. Scroll down, join the middle. There was scroll up there, verse. Just want to see. Verse.
ఇక్కడ కంక్లూడ్ చేయొచ్చు ప్రభుజీ చదివేసి
verse ఒకసారి scroll
చూసారు వర్ష ఓకే వర్ష సారీ
సయేష ఆత్మవతం ప్రేమయో ధర్మమయస్ ఉపమయం తథా వ్యలికై అజసంత శంకరా వితార్క్య లింగో భగవాన్ ప్రసీదతా. Let me read this one by one. Sa, he, Esha, it is, Atma, the super soul, Atmavata, of the self-realized souls, Adishvara, the supreme Lord, Trayimaya, personified Vedas, Dharmamaya, personified religious scripture, Tapamaya, personified austerity, Gata, Vyalikai, by those who are above pretensions, Aja, Brahmaji, Shankara Adibhi by Lord Shiva and others. Vitarkya Linga, one who is observed and veneration. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Prasidata, be kind toward me. This is also one of the important ones. It seems meaning is so good. He is the super soul and the supreme lord of all self-realized souls. He is the personification of the Vedas, the religious scriptures and austerities. He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all those who are transcendental to all pretensions, being so revered and adoration. May that supreme absolute be pleased with me. Nice. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, although the Lord of all followers of different paths of self-realization, is knowable only by those who are above all pretensions. Everyone is searching for eternal peace or eternal life, and with an aim to this destination, everyone is either studying the Vedic scriptures or other religious scriptures, or undergoing severe austerity as empiric philosophers, as mystic yogis, or as unalloyed devotees, etc. But the Supreme Lord is perfectly realized only by the devotees because they are above all pretensions. Those who are on the path of self-realization are generally classified as karmis, jnanis, yogis, or devotees of the Lord. The karmis who are much attracted by the fruitive activities of the Vedic rituals are called bhukti-kami, are those who desire material enjoyment. The jnanis who try to become one with the Supreme by mental speculation are called mukti-kami, or those who desire liberation from material existence. The mystic yogis who practice different types of austerities for attainment of 8 kinds of material perfection, Ashtasiddhi, and who ultimately meet the super soul, Paramatma, in trance, are called Siddhikami. Bhuktikami, Muktikami, and Siddhikami. Karmis, Jnanis, and yogis. Or those who desire for perfection of becoming finer than the finest, becoming heavier than the heaviest, getting everything desired, having control over everyone, creating everything like, etc. All these are abilities of a powerful yogi. For the devotees, important point, for the devotees of the Lord do not want anything like that for self-realization, self-satisfaction. They want only to serve the Lord because the Lord is great. And as living entities, they are eternally subordinate parts and parcels of the Lord. This perfect realization of the self by the devotee helps him to become desireless, to desire nothing for his personal self, and thus the devotees are called Nishkami, without any desire. A living entity, by his constitutional position, cannot be void of all desires. The Bhuktikami, Muktikami, and Siddhikami. A living entity, by his constitutional position, cannot be void of all desires. The Bhuktikami, Muktikami, and Siddhikami all desire something for personal satisfaction. But Nishkami, devotees of the Lord, desire everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. They are completely dependent on the orders of the Lord and are always ready to discharge their duty for the satisfaction of the Lord. Scroll on and go to
Yeah, Akinchan Prabhuji, not Prabhuji. Akinchan Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
let him.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please. We'll give to Prabhuji. Prabhuji.
Yeah. Please
Myself and myself and Prabhuji is there. Yeah.
In the beginning,
Akinchan.
Arjuna placed himself as one of those who desired self-satisfaction, for he desired not to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but to make him desireless. The Lord preached the Bhagavad Gita, in which the ways of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and the Bhakti Yoga were explained. Because Arjuna was without any pretension, he changed his decision and satisfied the Lord by agreeing to fight. Karishye Vachanam Tattva, and thus he became desireless. The examples of Brahma and Lord Shiva are specifically cited here because Brahmaji, Lord Shiva, Srimati Lakshmiji, and the four Kumaras, Sanaka Sanatana, etc., are the leaders of four desireless Vaishnava Sampradayas. They are all freed from all pretensions. Srila Jiva Goswami interprets the word Gata Vyalikya or Rojita Kaitava are those who are free from all pretensions, the unalloyed devotees. Only in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19.149 it is said Krishna Bhakte Nishkama Ata Eva Santha Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Asantha. Can I
I'll
continue?
read it. Yeah, I'll read
Yeah.
it, Prabhuji. I'll read and
Okay.
thank you. Those who are after productive results for their pious activities, those who desire salvation identity with Supreme, and those who desire material perfections of mystic power are all restless because they want something for themselves. But the devotee is completely peaceful because he has no demand for himself and is always ready to serve the desire of the Lord. The conclusion is, therefore, that the Lord is for everyone because no one can achieve the result of his respective desires without his sanction. But as stated by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita 8.9, in all such results are awarded by him only. For the Lord is Adishwara, the original controller for everyone, namely the Vedantist, the great karma kanyas, the great religious leaders, the great performers of austerity, and all who are striving for spiritual advancement. But ultimately, he is realized by the pretenseless devotees only. Therefore, special stress is given to the devotional service by the Lord, devotional service of the Lord by Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Hare Krishna.
హరే కృష్ణ. ఒకసారి సిసి మధ్య పైన లింక్ ఓపెన్ చేయండి. లింక్ ఉందా?
లింక్ లేదు ప్రభుజీ.
19 డాట్ సంథింగ్. మీరు డైరెక్ట్ సర్చ్ బాగా దాంట్లో సిసి మధ్య 19 డాట్ అట్లా కొట్టి డైరెక్ట్ వస్తుంది.
అదే
ఇదేనా?
ఇదే ప్రభుజీ.
Let me read it. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Santa Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. Translation by Professor Gopal. Because a devotee of Lord Krishna, desireless, is peaceful. Fruitive workers desire material enjoyment. Jnanis desire liberation. Yogis desire material opulence. Therefore, they are all lusty. You cannot be peaceful. So, it's okay. Purport, I'll read myself. So that's the thing. Karmis, Jnanis, Yogis, selfish motive. Simple. Devotees, no desire. Just pleasing Supreme Lord. Desireless. So that is the thing. Anyabila, that is the Bhagavad Swami says in the Bhakti Rasam says in the Anyabila Shunya. Fill in the blanks. Deepamata.
జ్ఞాన కర్మాది అనవృతం
అనుకులేన కృష్ణానుశీలనం భక్తి వృచ్చతి.
That's the thing. Anyabhilasha, no abhilasha. So then what is their abhilasha? Serving Supreme Lord. That is their abhilasha. Very well. Nice. Connecting verse. This is what I always mesmerize for this. Connecting verses from different scriptures. CC Madhya, different Puranas, Upanishads, Bhagavatam, different canto verses. We have
Well,
wonderful.
how we remember Prabhuji means all this kind of how we like.
That's the
Prabhu,
beauty.
don't remember, Prabhu. Don't remember. Just read. That's it.
Okay.
If you try to remember, you will not study only.
No, remember,
Prabhu, let the time pass in this. No? Let the time pass in this. You know, time is very powerful, Prabhu. It will do its effects, but there will be time. There will be time. Please don't try to remember these things. Huh?
No, nothing like that. But how he quoted, like while reading Bhagavatam, he quote from different places and.
Yeah,
like
because
this.
he doesn't have internet and all those things, Prabhuji. So memory was very sharp then.
Yeah.
Because we have Google, our memories are very weak.
Prabhupada అంటాడు.
My parents, huh?
Yes.
రాజు ప్రభు.
Sorry.
ఎట్లా కోట్ చేసినాం కదా.
అట్లా ప్రభుజీ అదే మనం భాగవతం చదువుతున్నప్పుడు ఈ విల్ కోట్ ఫ్రమ్ భగవద్గీత సిసి లైక్ దట్ ఐ ఆల్సో లైక్
ఇది ఆశ్చర్య scriptures, you know, and main important with respect to bhakti yoga, that's where, you know, ఇది ఆశ్చర్య, he read all the scriptures. That's why he referred and pointed out this particular verses in connection with this particular verse. Yeah. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I stopped. Yeah.
Now you have that PDF probably. No, anyway, that is not updated one. It's okay. Let me share. There only one slide. I will talk with that one.
No, bro.
And probably.
మీరు షేర్ చేశారు.
Yeah. Share yes. Yes.
మీరు షేర్ చేశారు.
Who is sharing? Yeah. Yes. One slide for 7 slokas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks. We have 46. Prabhu is doing the first. Yeah. Akinja Prabhu, you want to try?
Yeah, I will try, Prabhu. I have to go. I'll try, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadasya yato navyaditarascharatasva abhignasvarat. Tene brahma hridayadikave muyanti syatsuraya. Tejo varimridam yata vinimayo yatra sargo mrisha. Dhamna sevna sada nirasta kuyakam satyam param dhimai. Can you do once, Prabhuji?
Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratascharatesvabhignasvarat. Tene brahma hridayadikavai muhyanti yatsurayah. Tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha. Dhamna svena sada nirashtakuhakam satyam param dhimahi.
Janmadhyasya yato navyaditarascharatesva abhignacharat. Tene brahma hridayadikavaye muhyanti yatsuraya. Tejo varimridam yata vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha. Dhamna svevana sada nirasta kuyakam satyam param dhimayi. Dharmo projita kaitavatra paramo nirmasaram satam. Vedyam vastavam atra vastav sivadam tapatrayo mulanam. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni krite kim va parer ishvara sadyo hridaya avarudayate tra kribhi sushrubhistatkshanat. Nigamakalpatarurgalitam phalam सुखमुखाद् अमृताद्रव संयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरसोरसिक भुवि भुवि भावुका सवै पुंसां परो धर्मो सवै पुंसां परं धर्मो यतो भक्तिरधोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रियता ये आत्मा सुप्रसिद्धति वदन्ति तत्त्वविदस्तत्त्वं यज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवान् इति सभ्यते. I don't know, Prabhuji, whether I am in tune or not.
అదే ఆగిపోయింది ప్రభు, ట్యూన్ అదే ట్యూన్ కంటిన్యూ అవుతుంది ఇక్కడ దాకా, ఇక్కడ ఆగిపోయింది ఇంకా. ఓకే. అత కుంభేర్ద్విజ శ్రేష్ఠ, ఇది ఇట్లా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది.
సవైపుంసాన్ని చెప్పండి ప్రభు ఒకసారి. అదే ట్యూన్ గా సవైపుంసాం ధర్మో యతో భక్తిర్ అధోక్షజే అతై హైతుకి అప్రియత యయాత్మా సుప్రసిద్ధతి వదంతి తత్తత్వవిదస్ తత్వం యజ్ఞానజ్ఞాద్వయం బ్రహ్మేతి పరమాత్మేతి భగవాన్ ఇతి సభ్యతే. అత పుంభిర్ద్విజశ్రేష్ఠ వర్ణాశ్రమా విభాగశః స్వానుతితశ్చ ధర్మశ్చ సంసిద్ధిరరితోషణం. సారీ, ఇది ఫుల్ గా కనబడతలేదు ప్రభు, కొద్ది పైకి చేయండి గిరాజ్ ప్రభు. 4th లైన్ కనబడుతుంది. యా ఎస్. ఏతాచాంసకలా పుంసా కృష్ణస్తు భగవాన్ స్వయం ఇంద్రియాది వ్యాకులం లోకం रुदन्ति युगे युगे. Sorry, bro.
Thank you. Any other devotee? Raju Prabhu or Giraj Prabhu?
గిరీష్ ప్రభు మీరు చేస్తారా ప్రభు? మీరు చేసినాక ఇస్తాను.
మీరు చేయాలి, మీరు చేసినాకనే నేను చేస్తాను.
ఓకే ఓకే ప్రభు, ఐ ట్రై.
ట్రై అండి.
శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం 1.1.1. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ జన్మాదస్య యతోన్వయాదితరత్ చాతేష్వభిఘ్నాస్వరాట్ తేనే బ్రహ్మ హృదయాది కవయే ముహ్యంతి యత్సూరయా తేజో వారి మృదాం యథా వినిమయో యత్రా త్రిసర్గో మృషా ధామ్నా స్వేన సదా నిరస్తకువకం సత్యం పరం ధీమహి. శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం 1.1.2. ధర్మ ప్రోచిత కైతవోత్ర పరమో నిర్మస్తరానాం సతాం వేద్యం వాస్తవం అత్ర వస్త్రుశివదం తాపత్రయోన్మూలనం. శ్రీమద్ భాగవతే మహామునికృతే కిం వా పరే ఈశ్వర సాధ్యోర్దయ వరుదత్య తత్ర. ఇది ఒక లైన్ చెప్పండి.
సద్యో హృదయ వరుధ్యతేత్ర కృతిభి.
సాధ్యోర్దయ వరుదత్య తత్ర కృతిభి శుశ్రూషుభిస్తత్క్షణాత్. శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం 1.1.3. నిగమ కల్పతరుర్గలితం ఫలం సుఖముఖాదమృతద్వా. నిగమ కల్పతరుర్గలితం ఫలం సుఖముఖాదమృత ద్రావ సంయుతం పిబత భాగవతం రసమాలయం ముహురహో రసికా భువి భావుకా. ఓకేనా ప్రభు ట్యూన్ ఇది?
yes ప్రభు. ఓకే
ఓకే
ఓకే ప్రభు.
శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం 1.2.6. సవై పుంసా పరో ధర్మో యతో భక్తిర్ అధోక్షజే అహైతుకి అప్రతిహత యయాత్మాసు ప్రసీదతి. శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం 1.2.11. వదంతి తత్త్వవిదాస్ తత్వం యజ్ఞానం అద్వయం బ్రహ్మేతి పరమాత్మేతి భగవాన్ ఇతి శబ్దతే భగవాన్ ఇతి శబ్యతే. వదంతి తత్త్వవిదాస్ తత్వం యజ్ఞానం అద్వయం ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवान इति शब्दते। श्रीमद् भागवतम 1.2.13 अत पुंभिर्द्विजश्रेष्ठ वर्णाश्रम विभागशः स्वानुतिष्ठस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिररितोषणम्। श्रीमद् भागवतम 1.3.2-8 एते चां सकलान् पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयं इंद्रारि व्याकुलं लोकम। अच्छा किंदी का
मुझे टेस्ट చేస్తున్నా
अरे
చేయాల్సిన
एते यस
చేయండి.
प्रभुजी
భక్తి
कष्टम एते चां सकलान् पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयं इंद्रारि व्याकुलं लोकम मृदयन्ति युगे युगे। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू।
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. రాజు ప్రభు, అకించం ప్రభు. ఐ థింక్ మాతాజీస్ అందరు చేసినట్టున్నారు కానీ శిరీష మాతాజీ, దీప మాతాజీ, వాణి మాతాజీ చేసినారు కదా. రాధిక మాతాజీ, హరే కృష్ణ. రాధిక మాతాజీ, ఆర్ యూ ఏబుల్ టు డూ?
Can I try, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Radhika Mataji, you please. After that, I will do it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. जन्मातस्य यतो नयादितरतस् चार्तेष्वज्ञान स्वरात् तेने ब्रह्महिताय आदिकवये मूयन्ति यत्सूरया तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्म प्रोजितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वर सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुका स वै पुंसां परो धर्मो यतो भक्तिरधोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मा सुप्रसीदति वदन्ति तत्त्वविदस्तत्त्वं यज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानिति शब्दते अथ पुंभिर्द्विजश्रेष्ठ वर्णाश्रमविभागशः स्वनुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् एते चांशकला पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयं इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृदयन्ति युगे युगे.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Radhika Mataji. Very nice. Let me do it. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonmayaditaratas chartveshva abhijñasvarat tene brahma hrudaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah tejo vari mrudam yata vinimayo yatra trisargo mrusha धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. 112 धर्म प्रोजितकैतवत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरा सद्यो हृदयवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं Sukhamukha amruta drava samyutam pibhata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhukshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. That is 1 to 6. This is 1 to 11. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattam yajnanamadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. 1 to 13. Atapumbhir dvijasreshta varnashrama vibhagasa svanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. 1328. Ete cham sakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hrudayanti Yuge Yuge. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for little more extended 20 minutes. We'll see you all on Monday. So this weekend we don't have any classes because devotees travel to Ujjain. They had nice time actually, you know. His Holiness, what is the Maharaj name? Prem?
Bhakti Prem Swami Maharaj.
Prem Swami Maharaj.
Bhakti Prem.
Actually, I love his Chaitanya Charitamrita recitations as well as bhajans from, you know, Gaudiya Vaishnava songs. He himself, you know, Gaudiya Vaishnava, Bengali. So nice. I like the way he's singing. One time he was in BSK for the first time he came that time. So nicely, you know. Yeah, our devotee friends are having nice time there. Very well. Okay, see you all on Monday. Well, let's implement Lalit Mohan Prabhu every Friday. The review you can do. We all listen and understand. Try to contemplate what we read. Okay, thank you. The idea is very nice. We'll do every Friday so that we can Friday, or you know, or during the, no, sometimes you know, the particular context you can talk in between whenever you want to share. Okay, thank you so much again. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Hari. Hari. Wish you all very happy Krishna conscious Saturday, Sunday, weekend. Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.